After there were rumors circulating that Mattia Binotto was going to get sacked at the end of this year, Ferrari has gone out and denied these rumors. We have Charles Leclerc and Mattia Binotto apparently having a rocky relationship since around the halfway mark of this season. And we have news that Mercedes is not going to prioritize Lewis Hamilton as a driver for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Let's get right into it. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Formula One Digest. I'm your host, Tyson DeSilva, and today I'm reacting to Mattia Binotto dismisses the replacement rumors, and Ferrari has backed him on this, saying that they have no intentions as of right now. They said that these rumors that have been made about him being sacked and will be replaced by Fred Vasseur has no real kind of foundation to it. So for now, it looks like Mattia's job is safe, but I feel like that could change if Charles Leclerc doesn't win the P2 fight against Sergio Perez at the end of this year, and it's due to Ferrari making another critical error, which has been the storyline of this season for Ferrari. They had a great car, everything was looking so strong for them, and then eventually one mistake led to another, and now they are in a position where they are fighting for P2 in the championship, but also fighting for P2 in the constructors. And we're gonna have to see what they do and how they respond, because so far in Brazil, we did not really see them step up to the occasion. They messed up with Charles, putting him on the inters when everyone else was on the slick tire, and we're gonna have to see what they do at the start of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix to the end. It's going to be a full fight against Red Bull and Mercedes, and this is, I think, going to define whether or not Mattia Binotto stays in office and whether or not he has a future with this team, because he's already lost he's already lost winning the championship. I can't see them letting go of losing P2 in both championships so quickly, especially when your car is so competitive. And Charles is supposed to be one of the most elite drivers in F1 right now. Now, we talk about Charles Leclerc, and of course, Mattia Binotto is the team principal of Ferrari, but apparently it's been revealed that Leclerc and Binotto have had a rocky relationship since around the Silverstone Grand Prix. As many of you will remember, after the Silverstone Grand Prix, we had Mattia pull aside Charles and looked like he was publicly lecturing him after the race in front of cameras and everybody. It was not a good look for either person, as Charles was demanding that Ferrari give him the prioritization over Carlos Sainz, who won the Grand Prix. It wasn't a good look for either of them, but it looks as though after that happened, they have not spoken, or they have not seen eye to eye and have not spoken as closely as they had prior. I know they are a team, and you're supposed to be willing with people and be willing to work with people who put you in these types of positions, but I wonder if that was maybe the beginning of the end for Mattia Binotto. Obviously, he had to do something to get his team in check, and it looks as though Charles got the raw end of the stick in this case, but it's going to be really interesting to see if this is true, because right now it's just a rumor, but Ferrari nor Charles or Mattia have really addressed it. And with the way this season has gone, it's not hard to think that Charles might be overly frustrated, especially after in Brazil when he was asking for the team to switch him and Carlos Sainz so that he could have the lead in P2 for the championships. So we're going to continue to follow this as the rest of the race week goes on and into the offseason, depending when Mattia potentially gets the sack. But like I said in the previous video, if one thing has to give, it's going to be the team principle. We've seen it in other sports where head coaches or general managers have been fired because the players stop listening or don't respect them. So we're just going to have to see where this leads to. I'm really looking forward to seeing what Ferrari does to make changes, because I still think they have the capability to win, and I think that they are going to be a team that's going to be competitive next year. They built a really strong car at the start of this year. It's still a strong car, but we're just going to have to wait and see what they do in order to ensure that they can have a better outcome than what happened throughout this entire season. And of course, the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix is happening this weekend, and Mercedes is in the hunt for P2 in the championship. They have almost clawed their way back to P3, and now they're fighting for P2 with Ferrari, and they have looked very competitive in the last number of races. But now It looks as though that Mercedes is shifting its focus over to both drivers as opposed to prioritizing Lewis or George. As many of you will recall, that Lewis was the priority in Mercedes when Valtteri Bottas was the second driver, but now it looks as though the priorities have changed for Mercedes, as it's been revealed that they will not be prioritizing Lewis Hamilton in the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. And I have to say, this is really interesting because they've talked about it on the broadcast. We've talked about it here. Lewis has a race win streak for every season, and it's been an ongoing thing. It's the equivalent to almost an Ironman streak where he's won in every single race, which is not an easy feat, especially in F1. And you look at how the season's gone for him. He hasn't been nearly close to winning races up until these last few. And this might be his last chance to do it. And if not, his streak is going to end. Is it a big deal? To me, no. To many fans, probably not. But to Lewis, this probably means a lot because George already has the win. He has his first win under his belt. And Lewis is probably looking and saying, okay, I want to be the priority. I want to be able to win and keep my streak alive. And if Mercedes is denying him that, I think it kind of shows that the focus has changed at Mercedes, and it's probably a bit of a rude awakening for Lewis. So we're going to have to see how Mercedes handles having two drivers that are probably going to be competitive for the race win or for major points in throughout the race weekend. I look forward to seeing how they deal with it. I think Toto Wolff definitely has a very big issue to settle, but it's a good issue in the sense that it's good to have two drivers that are competitive and that are fighting for the win and are fighting for points. It's the same deal with Ferrari and even at Red Bull. It's good to have two drivers who can fight for wins and just and have that drive to want to win. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how the end of the season shapes up. Will Ferrari lose both championships and become P3 finishers, or will they rise to the occasion and be able to prove that they still have what it takes to be champions and maybe ride that momentum into the 2023 season? Let us know below in the comments. If you guys have made it this far, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And we will see you guys in the next video.